What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Boricua Tactical. Just wanted to bring a video today on battle belts and battle belt setup. Got a few questions on what I use for a battle belt and how I set it up. So figured I'd do a video on it. So I want to start off with, I definitely have changed from a lot of different belts throughout my career. Early on, being on the job, we used a certain certain belts, and even though now I'm retired, I've transitioned over to different belt setups, but I've used a ton throughout my my lifetime, so I have some experience with this. So I figured out talking to different battle belts out there and how it's kind of progressing and how I set it up now. So first and foremost, I want to say there's tons and tons of battle belts out there, tons and tons of companies now, excuse me, that make amazing gear. But really, to choose that, you really want to what you're doing with it. If it's for work, duty, military, in service, or you're just looking to get a training set up, whatever it is, all good. Just you have to really see what the the features and benefits are of that battle belt and how you want it. So I'll start off with back in the day, they weren't as rigid as they are now, and back then our SOPs were, we had to be issued our gear, so it was just a typical Safariland basket weave, belt keepers, and we just added stuff to our belt. Back then our rigs were minimal. We didn't carry as much as we do towards the end of my career, and now that I'm retired, I use this for training and other things that I do. I still work with the Department of Training and all that. So early on, like I said, we were issued Safariland stuff. As our SOPs opened up later, we were allowed to purchase our own belts. They just had to be all black. But that was cool. We were allowed to get our own belts, and that's when I started kind of diving into the battle belts setup for duty. Now back then on our ERT RDF, which is our Rapid Deployment Force, ERT is basically Emergency Response Team, we used battle belts, but they were the high rise. So I'm pretty sure I was using a Blue Force gear, so they were like the high battle belts that you saw before, and they were great. They had MOLLE, you could attach. They were definitely innovative at that point. But if you've ever used them running around, moving, they would ride up on you and shit. They were just a pain. They didn't come with an inner belt system like these belts do now. So I went through a bunch of them, and like I said, there's tons of companies. But I had a high-speed gear belt, good belt, not super rigid, although they make more rigid now. Like I said, G-Code was big. We used on the teams, but again, great belt, had MOLLE into it, but it wasn't super rigid how the belts are now. And I think the belts are so advanced now, and I'll go into that and why I chose the final belts that I use now, and why I chose that. But like I said, you really have to go and see. There's tons and tons of great belts out there, like the Bison belt from Faro, Ronin, because I have one here, and I used Ronin as I got later in my career. That's what I used as my duty belt. I had the Senshi, not the Task Force, which is more load bearing. Another thing you have to, like I said, if you're going to be using it for your purpose and you're doing any helo work where you're clipping in, that's where you want more, load bearing. You're going to be more into, those requirements. Like Ronin is definitely a great belt for that. And there's other companies, but like I said, Bison belt is great. There's the HRT makes a nice belt now. I think there's the GBRS Assaulter, tons and tons. Core, which I'll get into because that's what I use, and I think they're one of the best belts on the market. But I'll start off with, this is like the newer style battle belts now, where you get an outer belt. Usually it's a Cobra buckle, right? Like this, and you get an inner belt, and it's all male and female Velcro. So your inner belt, which goes around your waist, is going to be the male side Velcro, and the battle belt is going to be lined with like female style Velcro, just hook and loop. So when you put these belts on, you just kind of clip it on, and even before you buckle, they stay on, super easy to clip them on and put them around your waist, and they stay there. So if you're moving around, jumping around, crawling, whatever you're doing, they stay where they're at, and that's, you know, that was a big advancement compared to the high, which I still see guys using them, and they like them. Like I said, they serve their purpose. I just prefer an inner belt with an outer belt. But this is the Ronin Senshi, great belt. This is my second or might be my third. Love it. Really great, super rigid Mali webbing, you know, sewn in, you know, double stitched. I believe this is load bearing. I mean, you have the clip here to clip in. Like I said, I don't do any helo stuff or anything like that, so usually I'll just clip gloves from it and whatnot. But this is the inner belt from Ronin. Now they use a wide, Ronin uses a wide 2-inch inner belt, which is another thing. I mean, most tactical pants will support 2-inch belts, but most of them you're gonna see are, you know, 1 3/4, etc. But Ronin uses a really great inner belt system. And inner belts are gonna just be Velcro held on. They're just, you know, to go around and attach the belt. Some guys use these inner belts and they everyday carry with them because they are stiff. So, you know, they do serve that purpose. If you just want like a Velcro style belt and don't care, you could use it as an everyday carry belt. So this is the Ronin belt, great belt. Not that it's a little pricey, it's probably about 200 bucks. In this market, you're gonna see most of the belts are gonna be about 200 bucks when you get into it. You know, 180 to 200 bucks for just the belt. But again, great belt. Comes, you know, in sizes. You could get small, medium, or large. You just have to know your, you know, your waist size and all that. And they give you some amount that you could trim. I never ended up trimming the excess. I just fold it over and put it on. But great belt. Like I said, no complaints with the Ronin. If you're looking for a belt, the Ronin belt is really great. Like I said, I, you know, tore it up. It held up great. You know, it's got Mali on there, and it's super stiff, this belt. So it is a really good belt. Now, why did I change up? I just found a belt that was just more adjustable, and I'll go into what that is. I just want to show you an option of what a battle belt looks like, and just showing you the Ronin. But again, like I said, it's a lot of preference, and you know, there's tons and tons of companies. So that's basically, I just want to show you the newer style battle belts. You get an inner belt and your outer belt. All right, so that was the Ronin. I'll throw that over there. Great belt, but I ended up now using the Core Essentials belt, which is what you see here. Now it's all rigged out the way I loaded out, but what's so great about the Core Essentials belt, sorry, is that it has a ratcheting system, and I'll show you guys when I put it on. So one, it's not a Kroba style buckle where you're just, you know, clipping it in and you know, and just adjusting it. It has a ratcheting system, which is great because you could tighten it and loosen it super easy without having to take it off. So let me grab this again. The only problem with adjusting these are that if you do have to adjust them on the fly, they're a bit in the pain in the ass. You're gonna have to take the male Cobra side buckle off and, you know, extend it out if you need to, or shorten it. So you have to take everything off, and if you have anything off on this side, you're gonna have to remove that, take the buckle off, adjust it, and put it back. Now you're saying, oh, once you have it, you're there. Why do you need to adjust? Well, one, as you wear more clothing, you know, that might change. Two, as you extend throughout the day, you might, after eating and all that, or just especially, like I said, if you're looking for a duty belt and you're sitting in the vehicle a lot, you know, sometimes you want that little bit of adjustment just to loosen it up a little bit because you are sitting all day, meaning as a cop in a vehicle, or if you're just doing a lot of vehicle work and sitting a lot, you know, this gets, it's harder to adjust. Not the biggest deal, you know, and some guys just unclip it a little bit and keep it, but when it has load on it, if you did want to do that, you know, like you just wanted to unclip it to just give it a relief, it kind of, you know, really sags off in you because you have some weight on that belt, right? So the adjustment on any style Cobra buckle like that is going to be that. You're gonna have to remove the Cobra buckle and adjust it if you want, you know, any type of release or tightening aspect of it. So that's where the core belt comes in. Now right here I have their inner belt, which I have another core belt here. So let me just show you their system. This is their inner belt. If I can get it off here. All right. So now all my belts are Core Essentials. Once I tried it, man, I was already out of a job, but if I had a Core Essentials belt when I was on duty, I would have been happy like a pig in shit, because the adjustment is comfortable. It's really the adjustability of the Core, which why I chose it, and that's why I want to show you about this video. If you're looking for a belt, you know, Core is definitely one of those options, but I will put this right now, it's not load bearing. So if you are doing any type of helo work and need to clip in or whatever, this isn't the belt for you, and they'll tell you it's not load rated like that. So that's the only thing. So military guys, that might be a non-choice for you, but civilian side or law enforcement side where you're not doing anything, depending on your ERT, if you are doing any helo work, then obviously it wouldn't work for you, but yeah, it's a great belt. So anyway, let's get into it. So this is their Core inner belt. Again, just like the Ronin belt, Velcro, right? But it's a little thinner, so it's 1.5, I believe. It's 1.5, because their belts are 1 3/4. Could be 1 3/4. I'll fact check myself and I'll put in the video. But it's not as thick as the Ronin 2-inch belt, inner belt. Now, granted, you could use that inner belt with other belts, but Core has a ratcheting system, so with the Core, you're gonna wanna use the Core inner belt, which is I'm showing you here. When you get this belt from Core, it's one size fits all, so it fits from like 22 to 48. You just cut the excess off, and they give you directions. They give you a tape measure on how to do that. Super simple. Just make sure you cut from the right end, measure twice, cut once, kind of thing. So super simple. You just cut and measure. So basically, your inner belt with them, if you're a 34 like me, you would cut this to 35. I believe you give yourself an inch over for just the adjustability. Now, if you see their laser cut material right here, why that has it is because when you put this belt around you, right, and you secure it, that laser cut is going to come into play, because when you adjust their belt and tighten it, it cinches. Now, you don't feel the cinches. You don't feel it cinching. It doesn't bother you at all. And I'll show you when I put it on. I have this belt on right now. But that's what allows the adjustability, by the cinching and, you know, releasing it out. So as you tighten the belt, it cinches and you have a good amount of play there. All right, so when you cut this belt, it tells you exactly how to cut it. This is what goes, you know, basically right midline where your buckle would be, etc. So that's the Core Essentials inner belt. Again, you could, super stiff, super rigid, you could use this as an everyday carry belt if you want to use just a Velcro belt. So, but they make everyday carry belts, and I have them. Awesome belts. Anyway, that's their inner belt. That's how the system works. When you get the belt, it comes with a little metal clip after you cut, kind of just cinch the ends so it doesn't, you know, like unravel or kind of lose any threading. And then you clip on this metal, just a metal clamp there. To make it, you know, just like a belt there. And that's it. So that's the inner belt. Do that over there. And I have it on right now. I have that laser cut right in the front. And this is their battle belt. They make many belts. They make a duty belt. And this is their 1.75 battle belt with MOLLE. So again, you're getting that double stitched MOLLE, just like I showed you on the Ronin. Their MOLLE is a little less rigid. You know, like when you're first setting up that Ronin belt, it is super rigid. You have to, you know, put a spacer in there when you're setting up your either your, you know, malice clips or whatever, however you set up your MOLLE. These are a little bit less rigid, but I've had no issues with, you know, any stitching coming off, etc. So I'll show you how the belt functions first, just so you can see it, and then I'll take it off and I'll go through the setup and why I have everything where it is. So this is their belt system. Again, just like their inner belt, you get one size and you cut to your size. And again, you want to cut from the right side, meaning not the wrong side, not like the right side, because it has the ratcheting system here. So what's so innovative about this belt, I feel, is no Cobra buckle. But when you put it into their buckle system, you hear it? It's a ratcheting system. So tons of adjustability. Then it just has a little lever here to let it out, and you can just let out one clip at a time if you need to, you know, extend that a little bit. Super, super cool, super comfortable. That's why I love these belts. So again, this is their battle belt in multicam. They make, you know, a few different style buckles. They're black. They have like a little like sticker kit where you can put it, you know, the color of the belt. So I just added multicam to that. But that's how the belt system works. You know, you cut this exactly to your waist size. So like I said, I'm a 34, I cut it to 34, and you have all that ratcheting, and that's where that inner belt comes into play with that laser cut section. So when you ratchet it, you have that adjustability there. All right, so like I said, I have the inner belt on. So this is how you would put this belt on. Your inner belt, all right here. You want to adjust it, make sure your buckle's where it's at. Some guys are anal about their buckle being right in the middle. Some guys are not. I am, only because I have everything set up that way. So meaning, you know, I want it in line. And I'll explain why when I set everything on my belt. So that's the inner belts here. So I just needed to adjust it a little bit. That's it. Put it on, and here you go. I'll show you the ratcheting system. You hear it ratcheting already. Comes with a belt keeper just to do that. The ratchet, and that's it. Belt is on, right? Everything's on where I need it. So the cool thing about the core belt is right now I'm pretty tight. I mean, this isn't moving around, okay? But if I want to get tighter, I could. I did one more clip and I really feel it tight. But let's say I'm gonna be sitting down. Maybe I just ate a big lunch. I want to give it a little bit of extension. You just have to do the buckle has a little release lever. And I would just hit that, and I just release it. Now it's a little looser. I want to give it more, release another. I let out about 2 clicks, and it's still secure on, but have more, you know, room to expand. If I'm sitting down, you know, I would do that. So that's why I think it's awesome belt for, you know, on duty. So that is it. If you guys want to see. All right. So super comfortable. The adjustability is really where it's at. I think this ratcheting system is just awesome. You know, there's times even throughout the day you feel your belt got loose a little bit, right? You didn't like lose any weight or nothing. It's just as, you know, you go throughout the day, I don't know if you ever felt, you know, you wore battle belts before, you feel it's a little looser and you're like, and it's just a pain to adjust for that. You know, you don't want to take everything off to just take, you know, to just adjust it by, you know, 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. This is where this core belt is just so easy. You just push and ratchet, and it's on there secure. So that's why I really switched to Core Essentials. I saw one of the guys in the department I was doing training had it, and man, I just kept hearing like click, 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 click. I'm like, oh, what is that? He's like, oh, it's the Core Essentials belt. And once he showed me it, you know, we were close. We were pretty much the same waist size. I tried it. I had to get one. I got one in all black, which is over here, because that's the SOP of the department. I was training with them. So, and from there, I just started getting more, and you know, saw their EDC system, so I use it for everyday carry. I have one of their competition belts that for competition shooting and all that. So awesome belts. So now I'll go into the setup. So you don't have to release the belt keeper. I just and you don't even have to have a belt keeper, but it does come with it. I like just to keep everything nice and tucked away. All right. So now you just release that little button, that little lever, comes right off, and it's off. All right. And that's where that, like I said, when you have that adjustability, that's where that laser cut comes, so you could cinch it out. So that's the belt, and we'll go from left to right, so going all the way around. So for my mag pouches, I really like S-Tac Kiwis. I've been using them for a long time. Awesome retention. You know, they have nylon outer with Kydex, you know, with a Kydex insert. That Kydex, after a while, after a while, it does not wear out, but it loosens up. You just get, they sell them, so you just, or you could heat it up too, with a blow dryer or a heat gun at low heat and reform it so it, you know, gets more retention, because they do loosen up, but after some time. I mean, I can't even remember when mine loosened up, after a good amount of time. And they do sell the inserts there, they're cheap. I have a mag over here, I'll just show you for the retention end of it. So just put the mag right in. I mean, good retention, you know, nothing's coming out. Just, you know, they're really great mag pouches. So the front mag pouch I have it at about 45 degree, just my first mag pouch. I started doing that just about a few months ago. I feel like it just gets me a little quicker. The way I'm coming in for my reload and my hand angle at a 45 just, you know, just gets it right. I usually keep them, when I have my belt, these mag pouches just a little in front of my pocket. Some guys like it more pocket, so it's really preference on how, you know, you like to reach for your mags. I like them a little more in front because I like having my rifle mag right basically in line with my hip. Some guys like it further back and they cut, you know, it really all depends on your mechanics and how you train on this setup. And let me tell you, setting up a battle belt takes some time because of the adjustment and where you want your mag pouches and all that. So don't rush that. You know, I constantly am moving things around, setting up, tweaking them as I go. You know, just setting this up the first time, you know, took me like 2 hours of putting it on, taking it off. The only thing that Kora makes it is super easy is with the adjustment on the belt. You don't have to take the buckle off many times to adjust that, because it's adjustable, which is why I absolutely love the belt. And, you know, super strong. I've had no issues with any system breaking. You know, I'd be, oh, with the ratcheting system, maybe something happens. I mean, worst that could happen is that buckle is it has like a spring in there. That's what it has, the retention. And they're completely removable with 2 screws. So if something was to happen, you just get another buckle, you know, and call it a day. And I'm sure that their warranty would take care of it. They're great over there. Customer service is great. Like I said, I haven't had an issue to tell you, hey, their customer service is amazing because I had to return something or do a warranty on something. Haven't had any issues. But anyway, so that's what I choose for mag pouches. I have my 2 pistol right here. The first at a 45 straight up on my second. Then I have my 5.56 rifle shorty, just so I could get more purchase on my mag. They make a higher, again, preference for you, but that's how that's what I use for mag carriers. I do use a different mag carrier, like a Kydex style, on my other belt, which I'm playing around with, which I'll show you in a second. They're Ragnaroks by T-Rex, which are a Kydex style mag pouch, and I still can't mine at 40 or 45 degrees on the first, but I am using Kydex and playing around with that. But forever I've been using these S-Tac Kiwis. Great price, and they make tons of different setups. Like you could get 2 pistol, 1 rifle all together, 3. These are singles only because, like I said, I wanted the 45. If you want both at 45, you can get 2 45s. They make the angle, angle carriers. So, or you could get 2 pistol together. S-Tac has a bunch of stuff. So that's what I use for my mag carriers. Right here is the best dump pouch in the world, and I've had many dump pouches. So we're going to talk a little bit about this dump pouch. And as you see it's hanging right under my my rifle mag pouch, my mag carrier. So this is the Flatline Fiberco dump pouch. Awesome. It's basically like almost like a silent material, like a windbreaker, but not as crunchy and loud, and it rolls up, which I love. So if you see, it just rolls up like a little half a burrito there, if you see that. And they have a laser cut panel, so you can rock this behind any of your mag carriers and not have to take up a separate spot in your belt. Now, why did I say it's the best dump pouches? I've had G-Code dump pouches, Blue Force, T-Rex, all of them. Dump pouches are dump pouches, you're gonna say. Yes, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. One thing that I did hate was when we were doing any CQB stuff with the teams, and these guys had their dump pouches. And listen, I know we're on the range, we're training, we're in a shoot house, but man, they'd be all out in the way, jingling, crunching, making noise. I mean, you're trying to be quiet like a freaking ninja, and you have your dump pouch going hanging and stuff. I've seen guys, turning and getting hung up with another guy, and that's why I never really, I always kept my dump pouch, up, secured, etc. But what I like about this is this dump pouch, one, it is quieter, but two, if you do want to get out of the way real quick, you just roll it up, and it has like a little Velcro attachment that holds that roll up and get it completely out of the way. And I love that. And it's super tight, out of the way, just there. And if you need to deploy it, you just rip that up and dump pouches out. Now the reason I set up dump pouches, listen, if we're for training, I know we're picking up our mags, but in real life, man, nobody's going down to pick up their mags. We're just leaving them. I mean, we're going through, we're doing our thing. I'm not worried about, if I drop the mag while I'm in a gunfight, that mag is staying there. I'll get another P mag. Department will issue you another one. Now granted, we use the dump pouches for snacks, water bottles, extra mags, extra things. They come in handy. I'm not saying not to use one. I always have one, but that's why I decided on this Flatline Fiberco. They make awesome stuff. I have a few of their things, that I use, and I'll go into it in a second. But yeah, I think it's the best dump pouch. Roll it up out of the way. Super quiet, doesn't get in the way, and when you need it, you just deploy it. Plenty of space in there, so great dump pouch, Flatline Fiberco on that. And then I like, again, you're not taking up an extra space of MOLLE on your belt. You could attach this under wherever you want, whether if you're a right side guy and you wanted to put it, here, you could put it, under whatever, other spot that you're taking up with, on your belt with MOLLE, because they have that panel that you could just, it's just laser cut, and look, you just put it, I just have it run and wrap right under. That's another thing on how I secure these. I use one wrap a lot because one, super easy, holds it secure, and then you still get that full purchase around your inner belt with the Velcro. So moving on, enough about the dump pouch, but amazing dump pouch. Then I have believe it's a Haley Strategic multi-tool pouch here with my multi-tool in there. I either have, I believe this is a Leatherman Mutt, but I use, Gerbers too, like the center drive and all that. But yeah, I think I have a center drive on my other belt, but I always like having a multi-tool with me, especially that I'm doing more range stuff. So a multi-tool always comes in handy. You don't have to have a multi-tool pouch. It depends on your, like I said, your mission set and your loadout. If this was my duty belt, obviously I'd be having different. Although I always carried a multi-tool on me, I used to carry it more on my carrier, but then on my belt, only because I try to keep my belt, situated a certain way because I was sitting a lot, right, in a vehicle and all that. But yeah, great multi-tool pouch. It's specifically a multi-tool pouch from Haley, but you can use a STAC carrier. A lot of guys use like an extra mag pouch and put it in and just put their multi-tool and those things. But that's how I have it. So I have it right back here where, I could get to it, but it's not something I'm reaching for on a constant. Then let's go to my IFAK, which is here, right in the middle. So when I say in the middle, my belly button's here, and right in the middle, small on my back, I put my IFAK. So when I put this belt, I'll just have, usually I have my wife do it. When I mark the middle on my back, I mark it with a little mark. That's where my IFAK goes. Why? Because if you are sitting down for any long periods of time, this thing's offset. Like I've seen a lot of guys on the right side. If you're sitting down, man, that's pushing into your kidneys. You're gonna get a hot spot there. I like it right in the small of my back, and it's the most comfortable if you're sitting down, doing any long periods of sitting down, like vehicle stuff. So that's something you're gonna wanna try it out. I think being right in the middle of the back is the perfect setup for that. So that's why I strategically put it right in the small of my back. Now I've had a lot of IFAKs, and I'll tell you right now, what I think are the two best IFAKs in the market are the Flatline Fiberco Pimp, which is what this is, okay, or the Blue Force Micro, which I have on my other bow, which I had it for a long time. But I've had a lot of IFAKs, and there's tons of IFAKs that out. So really, it depends on what you want to go. But this little guy, you know, has the pull tabs. I also have their dangler for their tourniquet, and a Sharpie if you want. I run a Sharpie in the front, so I just have a chem stick on there, chem light. But I have my tourniquet, my cat tourniquet, and again, it's just a dangler with MOLLE, which you could set right behind. Now this little IFAK carries a lot. I mean, I have chest seals in there, MPAs, decompression needle. Also has a spot for shears. If you can see right there, I have my shears. So that's the pimp right there. Right, it's 2 little pull tabs, and it fits everything you need, nice and compact. Again, Flatline Fiber Co. Check them out. They make awesome products. So that's what I use for my IFAK, and I'll do a separate video on, you know, what you should have in your IFAK and packing, you know, what you should pack in there. So IFAK right in the middle of my back. Moving on, I just have a little Neo Mag clip here, and you know, why do I have that clip? One, I'm on the range a lot doing training, so I either clip my you know, my headgear on there, gloves, you know, anything that I really just need, you know, dangling off. Usually it's got my ear pro on there, or gloves. And, you know, yes, I used to put my earphones over my leg, but, you know, they would pop off and fall. So just a little, just goes through the MOLLE. It's got a magnetic, the Neo Mag holder, so you can put that anywhere. I just have it on this side. So I like that just for, you know, just to hang things off. Then we'll go into my holster setup. So I have the True North Concepts modular mount, aluminum, super rigid, great mount. I'm sure you guys have heard about it with the Safariland QLS. So there's a lot of mounts for that. You could go with Safariland, like UBL, which is the plastic style, which I used for many years. But this makes it very rigid, which I like, and you could adjust where you want your holster. So you could go a little high, mid, a little low. Gives you those mounting points. Also gives you tons of canting. So if you want to cant your holster a little back, a little forward, you have that. And I also, you know, you could attach your leg strap on there to just keep that secure as, you know, you're unholstering. You kind of don't get that pull out. True North Concepts makes an amazing mount. Now I will say, on when you're installing these, it's basically just a aluminum bar that clamps with screws. A lot of guys put that aluminum bar through the MOLLE to secure it. That's really what, you know, the only thing that messed up on my Ronin belt that I had, I guess from that, so it being so rigid and the movement, it started tearing up my MOLLE. It actually ripped on my MOLLE. Ronin now says if you're going to put the True North Concepts to go over the MOLLE, not through it, and just sandwich it down, which is fine. This thing has never moved on me, so you don't have to go through the MOLLE with it. The only thing is, guys say, well, I still want the Velcro part of it. So what I just did was I just cut some pieces of female style loop or whatever, Velcro, and added it on there, so I still get attachment to my inner belt. All right, so that's really how you should set that up. Comes in colors, I think OD green, which I have, maybe tan and black. Awesome, super great. I've seen some guys using like the Guardian style, which is like Tigris. So there's a lot of mounts out there, but I choose the True North. For a leg strap, another thing that I'm also picky about, I'm using the Forge Concepts, I believe. It's just a thin belt. It has a little bit of stretch because it has some elastic nylon here, which I like, because I don't like leg straps that have no stretch in them. You know, you just, as you're moving around and your thigh is expanding, I like that stretch. But I've had T-Rex leg straps, G-Code ones, you know, which are nice because they have like a rubber backing so they don't slip. But this is the Forge Concepts. You could get this at their website or off of True North Concepts. It's just a nice thin. I believe it's 1-inch webbing, nice clip. I think you can get them with Cobra buckles if you want. I don't really care for that. I feel like they're a little loud. I just use the like the regular plastic buckles. But nice leg strap there. Again, that's personal. You have to run a leg strap, but I think you should. A little coffee there. And then I always like running a tourniquet on my front here. This might change out if I'm wearing my carrier, which I also have a tourniquet. So sometimes I'll swap this out for a vertical 5.56 mag carrier. So I have it here in the front. Something else I've been trying. So right here on the right side, right in front of my front pocket. But usually I have a tourniquet there. This is a Blue Alpha tourniquet holder. The reason I like the Blue Alpha is you could mount it vertical if you wanted vertical on your belt, or you can mount it like I have it horizontal, but it has a nice like tigress backing, and then you just go, I just have it with one wrapped around, and that's where I have my Sharpie, which the Sharpie I'm using a lot for training and marking targets, so that comes out a lot. So usually that's, oh, sorry guys, my battery died, I wasn't watching it. So I was saying, Sharpie, keep it in there, but most of the time it's out because I'm marking targets and using the Sharpie for other things. But Sharpie with the tourniquet, obviously to mark your time. And I like having, even though you're like, oh, you got a tourniquet hanging from your IFAK. Yeah, my IFAK is, you know, back there, but I like having a tourniquet in the front. I like running with multiple tourniquets. Usually I like to at least have 3 or 4, one for each appendage. But like carrying that, but like I do it does change depending on my loadout. And that's basically what I run on my battle belt. All my battle belts are pretty much set up this way. I'll show you guys my other Core Essentials in black, but it's pretty much run the same way. So that's how I set it up. Like I said, I think Core Essentials is an amazing battle belt just because the adjustability, it's comfortable. Great belt, also great price with the inner belt. I think, I left my cell phone upstairs, but pretty sure it's $139 if you're going for a solid color and $159 if you're going for like a camo. So you know, like this was multi-cam, so it's one, but not bad coming with an inner belt. You know, about 30, 40, 50 bucks cheaper than most belts, and you're getting a super high quality belt. Now I haven't had it for years to tell you, hey, it's held up, but you know, so far so good, no issues. I'll show you my other setup real quick. Same thing, basically identical. The only thing that's different with this is, here, we'll open it real quick to run through it real quick. Again, we'll go left to right. Now here's what I was talking about, running Kydex mags. I do have these are the Kydex, these are the Ragnaroks by T-Rex. And you could change, so you know, if you have Glock mags, they'll fit, or Sig mags, you just change the retention on them. Again, I have this probably at a little less, probably 40-degree camp, but I've been canning my front mag straight up on my second. Another S-Tac Kiwi for my rifle. Even though they do make a Kydex, I still like the S-Tac. And another Flatline Fiberclo dump pouch. Another Haley Strategic multi-tool, right? So basically identical, just my two front mag pouches are Kydex opposed to S-Tac Kiwis. Haley Strategic multi-tool, this has got the Gerber one drive in there. And the other IFAK that I think is really great on the market is the Micro Now, which you see right here by Blue Force Gear. I've had that for a while, never had issues. I've had like a few of these. So again, I have it with their dangler. Their dangler holds a tourniquet and some shears. I like running mini shears just because they're a little smaller, take up less weight, take up less space on your belt. And again, I have this specifically right for the middle of my back. You know, we spoke about why. Another Neo Mag clip, just hold on to things. Another True North Concepts MDA mount with the QLS system from Safariland and a Forge Concepts leg strap, so identical. And again, this has the Blue Alpha tourniquet holder with holds a Sharpie tourniquet set up in there. And again, I explained to you why I like the Blue Alpha. So this is basically identical, just the mag carriers are different. This is my my other belt from Core. Love Core stuff. Basically now all I have is Core Essentials, my everyday carry belt, which I was forever using like a First Spear one. Got their Core Essentials, awesome because the adjustability with the ratcheting system. I'll do an EDC video on you know, separately for you guys, but that's basically it. Just wanted to talk to you about battle belt setup, why I set it up, and why I chose Core Essentials. Check them out, great prices, great guys over there. But again, as I stated in the beginning of the video, tons and tons of companies out there. So see what you need in features and benefits on the belt, see what you need for your mission set, and make the choice that way. But if you're looking for an amazing belt, great price, great adjustability, check out Core Essentials. If you have any questions on these items I have, just hit them in the comments and all that. And please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe out there.